This book redefines what a time-bending love story can do. I finished breathless, questioning reality and myself. Plot and pacing. The narrative moves like a delicate clock, ready to shatter. We follow Reagan, a doctoral student haunted by intrusive thoughts. Aldo, an artist obsessed with time and mathematical patterns, mirrors her unrest. Their first conversation sparks an unconventional therapy session disguised as courtship. Blake structures each meeting as an equation seeking balance, then distortion. Chapters jump locations with hyper-real specificity, yet momentum never feels fragmented. The pacing mimics mania, alternating bursts of wonder with pockets of dread. Scenes in the Art Institute linger just long enough to bruise. Train rides dissolve into monologues that read like dreamy lecture notes. Every cutaway to Aldo's equations reminds us that time may fold. That hint keeps pages turning without traditional thriller mechanics. Despite abstract ideas, tension remains visceral because stakes stay heartbreakingly human. When the midpoint reveals a potential crime, the clock feels audible. Blake lets silence sit afterward, forcing readers to fill ticking gaps. The final chapters compress hours into paragraphs, amplifying the collapsing feeling. By the time reality catches up, narrative speed feels dangerously intoxicating. Characters and chemistry. Reagan and Aldo are magnets made from fractured glass. Neither is healthy, yet their connection feels inevitable, almost gravitational. Reagan's compulsions manifest in list-making and desperate apologies. She appraises every room with the vigilance of a security camera. Aldo, conversely, drifts through Chicago like a philosopher lost mid-formula. His manic joy hides terror of wasted potential and pending doom. Blake refuses tidy diagnoses, letting contradictions pulse without commentary. Dialogue crackles with shared obsessions, from prime numbers to Renaissance frescoes. Each tangent uncovers secret longings instead of mere world-building trivia. Chemistry becomes dangerous because they mirror each other's darkness. When they speak of 6 impossible futures, you feel every alternate heartbeat. Minor characters reinforce the psychological stakes by serving as skeptical witnesses. Regan's sister senses spiraling danger, but cannot decode its math. Aldo's mentor offers equations as therapy, highlighting their intellectual isolation. These external reflections deepen intimacy rather than distract from it. By the climax, their bond feels both purifying and catastrophic. Themes and style. Time, love, and mental illness spiral together like intertwined Mobius strips. Blake interrogates obsession as both poison and possibility. Reagan seeks control through romantic surrender, a paradox the prose embraces. Meanwhile, Aldo uses mathematics to rename chaos as elegance. The novel suggests that naming pain can reshape, but never erase, its dimensions. Stylistically, sentences swing from clinical specificity to dreamlike enjambment. Footnote, like asides, let characters argue with themselves across time. Those metafictional layers echo Italo Calvino, yet remain emotionally grounded. Chicago becomes a liminal city, part museum, part memory palace. Iconic landmarks distort under Blake's lens, reflecting the couple's skewed perception. Repetition of mirrors and water imagery reinforces looping temporality. Even chapter titles function as variables within an impossible proof. The prose occasionally risks pretension, yet emotional clarity rescues it. Interior monologues ensure lyrical passages never float away from character urgency. In essence, style becomes substance, displaying obsession through form and rhythm. That structural daring rewards rereads, unspooling fresh thematic strands each visit. And still, the language never forgets to breathe, inviting empathy before awe. verdict, and readability. This is not a breezy commute novel. It is a commitment. The book demands patience with abstract conversations and non-linear detours. Yet pages turn quickly because suspense hides inside every vulnerable confession. If you loved Blake's The Atlas Six, expect similar intellectual fireworks. However, Alone with You in the Ether feels more intimate and bruising. I would recommend it to readers fascinated by mental health portrayed sincerely. Fans of Donna Tartt or Emily St. John Mandel may resonate deeply. Content warnings include self-harm ideation, manic episodes, and implied violence. Blake handles these topics with respect, though not explicit clinical detail. The hardcover design mirrors thematic elegance, making physical ownership worthwhile. Audiobook listeners will appreciate dual narration that captures shifting mindsets. Reread value is high because clues hide inside throwaway metaphors. Classroom discussion potential is vast, crossing philosophy, mathematics, and art history. Still, some readers may find the conceptual density exhausting. My advice is to surrender to its cadence rather than chase explanations. Do that, and the final pages will feel transcendent, not perplexing. For deeper analysis and spoiler talk, read my full article linked in the description.